Hey everyone, it's Angela with Earrings by Angela, and we are talking about raising our vibes today. It's like the ABCs of raising your vibes. Now, we're not going to go A to Z, right? I'm picking out a few key points uh, of this series that I really think that we should talk about because this is an actual workbook that I created to help a lot of people, especially when I had my high vibing program. This is one of the supplements that I gave them. So you guys, you can have access to this workbook as well. And I'll put the link in the bottom. But let's start with the letter B today for balance. Okay. So we know many of our days are filled with to-do lists, emails, and oh my God, we can't stop thinking about the work that we have to do, right? Or I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe your days are filled with nothing but playful adventures, but you want to play so much, you kind of procrastinate on getting your work done. I've been guilty of that too, especially if it's a summer day here in Wisconsin. We don't get warm weather like that. So we got to get it when we can. But this is where the root chakra comes in, right? It helps us to balance the flow of life so that we can live harmoniously. Imagine that. What does that feel like? What does that feel like? What does harmony and balance feel like in such a chaotic world? You guys, so that's why I created this workbook and that I wanted to come and talk to you about balance because one of the things that really inspired me to create this is one of my students. I call her my twin, and because we have the same first name. I love that. Anyone who has the name Angela, raise your hand. Okay, you are my twin. Have a happy day. But I asked her, well, when do you find time to create? I asked the class, and she rolled her eyes. Oh, I don't have time to create. It seems like I'm traveling for work all the time. That's all I do is work, work, work. I don't have time to do what I really want to do. And I know I've said that myself. So if I'm not alone, and my twin is not alone in that, because that's two of us out of a billion people, trillion, whatever, how many people is on this earth. Raise your hand if that's you too. Put your hand up in the comments. Okay? It's so hard to find balance if you're not purposely creating it because in order to have balance, it's like you have to have a plan. You just really do. You have to have a plan. How many hours will you sleep? How many hours will you work? Because we only get 24 hours in a day. And are you like me? When you like, okay, yeah, we have 24 hours a day, but how is Oprah getting all this stuff done? How is Beyonce getting all this stuff done? They create balance at some point because they know, boom, boom, boom. I have this amount of time to do this. I want to do this on this day. I want to do this. But then I have my time where it's just for me. Everything in its own time, you guys, right? And you'll hear time is a myth. It is, but at the same time, it's like let's figure out how I can make this whole day enjoyable, including the work, right? So here's an exercise for you. It's name name three simple ways you can create more balance in your work life. So how can you do that? How can you create more balance in your work life? Now, notice I said only in your work life because in your work life you have to constantly check the emails. You already have a to-do list. I'm sure your calendar is on one half of the screen and then you're typing on the other half of the screen. How can you have more balance? Because our goal is to leave work at work. Okay? That's number one. So, how can you leave work at work? Now, you have to be strategic with your schedule. So, I don't know your schedule, but those are ways that you can brainstorm. Okay, for sure, I'm taking my lunch from noon to 12:30 or whatever it is, whatever your lunchtime is. But guess what? Now I gotta give you the mama eye. Like I used to do my son. But what you not gonna do? But what you not gonna do is eat your lunch at your desk. We're not doing that this year. We are not eating lunch at our desk because your time is just as precious as the company time. Your lunch time is time for you to fuel your body with delicious food, right? To disconnect from whatever you are working on. That is your time to feed your spirit. Have conversations with your friends, co-workers, read. I used to read on mine. I used to hang with my coworkers, but sometimes I'd be like, girl, I want to sit by myself today. It's a real thing because you need that time to refuel. Stop eating lunch at your desk, okay? Don't do that. Make yourself a priority, okay? So definitely create that balance, and that's also setting a boundary. You know, your clients do not call you during your lunch break because you have that blocked out for you. Okay. Um, Another way that you can create more balance is you have those time blocks, right? And I know that we say, oh, I got to answer this, I got to answer that. Oh my gosh, the notification over there for the email came out. But if you have on your calendar a time block, such and such, I will check maybe every at the top of every hour for 10 minutes or whatever. I will check my emails, or I only check my emails at 8 in the morning when I first come in, and then maybe 2 hours later, and then again after lunch. So that when you're actually in your zone and you're working, or you're on the phone with a customer, you're not distracted with that notification that you got an email, because now guess what? Your brain is like, dang, now I got to answer that, but I'm trying to do this. That's multitasking, and it's going to be quality over quantity. You want to give yourself that time to actually be in it. Get in the zone. Get in the zone. Get your work done. And maybe you have to turn off your notifications so that they're not coming on your screen, because you have done that practice where, you know, you've gone into that deep focus, whatever. So that's how you create more balance for your work life. What are some of your ideas? Because I don't know the kind of work that you do. Like, I work at home, so my phone is on do not disturb while I'm working. So, like, while I'm filming this right now, it's on do not disturb. No one can get in contact with me. I don't have any um, Facebook, Instagram, or any windows open. I am just here with you. I'm giving you my full attention. People know not people know today Angela is filming from such and such, such and such. Don't bother her. I have a note on my door working on something epic. Do not burst in the room. My son is notorious for coming unannounced, you guys. And that grandbaby was like, and opened that door, and I'm like, I'm feeling. It's a whole thing. So that's about our work life. Let's move on to what's next. 3 ways you can create more balance in your relationships. Oh, now this could be friendships, any relationship, parenting, love. How can you create more balance in your relationships? Well, because now that we've created more balance, a plan for creating more balance in our work life, how can we have more balance? What are three ways that we can create more balance in our relationships? Okay. Number one for me is I created that balance because they know, okay, after 5 o'clock on certain days, I'm available. My work is done. I am all yours. So when I get with them, we're not talking about projects that we need to complete. We are unwinding. We are enjoying each other's time. I'm not on my phone. When I'm with someone, they get my undivided attention because that's respect, y'all. You know, I'm not always looking for the next best thing. I'm enjoying what's in front of me right here, right now. That's it. So when listen, and I'm gonna tell you something. Let me burst my little grandson out. He taught me his boundaries. Remember I said he's 2. He'll be 3 soon. But even when I would, because he would stay the night, and sometimes I would keep him for a whole week, whatever, whatever. When I am with Zakari, I am with Zakari. So that means if he's here for the weekend, it's a Coco Melon weekend. Shout out to Coco Melon, y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. But if I'm on my phone, he will come and snatch the phone from me. Shoot, and put it away. Nonverbal communication. He's saying, hey, I'm here. This is not the time for you to be working. You should be focused on me. I respect that. Hey, you can learn from your children. You can learn from children. Hey, come on now. You can learn from children. Um, but that's one of the things. So I know that in order to have that balance in my relationship, my work needs to be separate from that. I don't bring my work into it. Okay. Um, so I have a certain time. I make sure now when he take a nap, it's on and popping. Don't play with me. But that's the way because we have to give our children the attention that they need and deserve in order to nurture them, right? And we need to nurture the other relationships in our lives. I know that, my father, I have to call him between 7, what is it? He usually eats breakfast around 8. So I know I have to catch him before breakfast if I want to talk to him in the morning. Because he's an early riser too. His work starts. He told me he gets up at 3:30, sometimes 3 o'clock. I get up at 4 on a good day, 5 if I'm sleeping in, 6 if I'm really just living on the edge because I got work to do, you know. But I know for him, our relationship needs to start. Our phone conversations need to start between 7:30 and 8 because he don't warm up his food. He like his food hot. He wants to enjoy his breakfast with his wife. And I love that. So they eat their breakfast together. And then they go off and they do the work and they come back together. That's that balance. They're making time for that relationship. This is the boundary. This is the goal. In order for us to have a healthy relationship, no phone calls. It's just us during breakfast time. And I respect that, right? So those are different ways to bring balance into the relationship. So our last one is now you've created balance in your work life, you've created balance in your relationships. Where are your play dates at? What are 3 play dates that you will go on this month to create more fun in your life? Now, the play dates could be by yourself or it could be with your family. But in order to have a fully balanced life, you have to have fun. Otherwise, you're not living, you're just existing. And then if you're always working, you know, they talk about hustle hard, play hard. In order to work hard, play hard. Okay, but that's all groovy, but not all the time. There has to be time when you slow down and be like, you know what? Today I'm just gonna enjoy seeking a new adventure, which leads to more creativity. You're less frustrated, you're more relaxed. So, Angela, what play dates do you go on? One of my favorite play dates is going to Zumba. I love it. And now that I'm able to, now that my ankle is healing, I'm able to do my Zumba. Ooh, 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 ooh. So it's like an 8 count, right? So I go to Zumba. I may go, hang out with my friends. Um, they have, you know, dinners or barbecues, or maybe we're doing karaoke or whatever it is. But I have fun, or we go on nature adventures. You know, it's just, oh my gosh. First of all, y'all know one of my best friends is my friend Johnny, and he's on the J Hen Travel and Services. That's his YouTube channel. Oh my God. So you can see some of the adventures. So I have play dates. The proof is on his page. And I will make a note of that to put his page in the description in case you want to be nosy and see what Miss Angela be doing when she's not creating jewelry. Miss Angela travels a lot. Did I travel a lot in the pandemic? I did. I did. Um, so I got to get back to traveling. Did I travel a lot? Where'd I go last year? See, side note, I went to Vegas. Um, was it twice? Hmm. Yeah, we were in there, and there was a birthday party. I asked not to be in that video. Y'all don't need to know me like that. And some other places. I went to Houston too. So there are other play dates, but what are some of yours? I would love to hear what your play dates are in the comments. Give me a play date. What is something that you do for fun? Tell me in the comments. So we're done talking about balance, you guys, because there's so many other things that I want to highlight. But again, I will put the link to this workbook in the description. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel. See, I have to think, you guys, because I don't have anything written down. I have to think. Subscribe and become part of the EBA family. And you guys, guess what? Keep raising your vibes. I hope this helps. If it did, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Peace and blessings to you all. Thanks.